Welcome to ScratchStart. In this session, we are going to see how we can search in a API. That means the API will have a lot of data and lot of lot of data in lot of categories. So what we are going to do is I have used an API where we can find anime codes. I have used that API from open source internet. uh, we what the objective we are going to do is we are going to type an anime name, and by typing the anime name the API will recall all the codes it has from the that specified anime. So that is what we are going to do. I wrote the HTML and CSS structures are always. So let's create the variables using identifiers. First input selected by document, get element by id is search input. Next for the button, selected by document, get element by id search button. Next is the result, selected by document, get element by id, and the id is result. Then finally the loading by document, get element by id, the id is loading. Now only when we click the button, wait a minute. See, there is a search button. Only if we click the button the operation will execute. So selecting the button variable, giving an add event listener, the event is clicked, and we are going to use the async method as we have said earlier. Async function, write the function now. Initially what we have to do is we have to get the input, we have to get the anime name. So for that I am creating a variable called query and get the input. We have already seen in previous examples, previous sessions, that we to get the input as if it is a string, we have to remove the spaces before and after the string, so that we will get the text, clear text. We will remove it by using the trim method. And that's all. And I am using if logic. If query is an empty string, we have to stop the operation using the return, and then we have to change the display, loading text content into searching, and then next we have to change the result, that is the display. For that, take the result variable and change the inner HTML to empty. And now we have to import the API and the operations involved using the try and catch method. So try, within the try we have to import the API. So for that I am creating a variable called response, and using await I am fetching the API. This is the API. So that's all. We imported the API, and another we have to display it. That means we have to extract the required data from the API. So for that, getting a data await response.json to extract the data. So if you can see the API, I have created the link and I have written dot query, a query value. That means what we entered here in the query, that is the input, that specific anime category will be searched, or anime name will be searched. So then we have to make sure the API returns to the array, the initial array. That means the result we get here should be imported or saved as an array. For that, I am creating const variable, quote variable, and assigning data with index variable 0, index number 0, and then I am creating a new variable called the card, and this will be created in the new HTML element. Create element division, and this card will have the class list card. Now we have to change the input, that means the text, inner HTML. So only when we change the inner HTML, we can see the output on the browser. So select the card variable and change the inner HTML. What we have to change is create a paragraph, because we are creating a sentence. So give it a class code, and this code will have the code dot code, and close the paragraph. And next we have to introduce another paragraph with the class character. Inside that, I am creating another value called with the quotes character. That means quotes character means inside this API we will have the code and the character in the anime that says the code. So when we retrieve the results, or when we search the result and display it in the browser, the code and which character the code is saying in that anime, both data will appear on the browser. So now I am closing the tag, and that's all. Now we have to append this card output to the result using the append child method. Append child card. And now we have to think about the another possibility called error. So for the error, we have to change the loadings text content, loading text content to no codes found, or some error occurred. So this will be displayed. So now that is all. Now we have got the input from 8th line input, and if the input is empty string, it will the operation will be stopped, and then the searching text will appear on the screen, and the previous code that is already present will be cleared, and then the required anime name, the corresponding anime names, codes and the characters will be extracted, and it will be displayed in this structure, and this exact inner HTML will be inherited to the result, and that result will get appeared in the browser. If it is not there, or some error occurred in the backend, or if there is no internet or anything, no codes found or error occurred, text will appear on the browser. So now we have done the API fold operation now. So now reload. Now I am typing the only anime I know, Death Note. So I am typing Death Note. I click searching and no codes found. So there is no codes. This is the only anime I know. So it is working. The code is working. That is what the output shows. No codes found means we have already typed. If there is an error or some kind of code, if there is an error or the text is not found, the code is not found, we have to execute the catch block. So that is what happening. So that means we have wrote the code right way. So that is it for today, and if you like my work, please consider subscribing and sharing, and if you guys are watching, and thank you for the previous videos. You have did enough support, like so many of 15 nearly 20 people watched the previous video, and thank you for that, and please keep on supporting, and I will do more and interesting things in upcoming videos. And yeah, that is it for today, and I will meet you guys in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.